You guys know I like hyping things up. Imagine my surprise when I went to edit my first take on this. Well, my kids put a small robot voice filter over me.
You guys know I love hyping things up.
So let's get into this teaser game from Toyota. Yes, Toyota's teasing. Now, we've seen these sort of teasers in the past, not exactly like this. You know, Toyota teased the heck out of the Tundra, the RAV4, the Camry, right? The GR Corolla. They've been teasing vehicles for a while, but those are mainly vehicles for the US market. This is Akio Toyoda, chairman and grandson of the founder of Toyota. He is in full control of this. And because of that, I have my ideas on what could happen here at the end of this video. Okay. So there's this cryptic website. Of course, it's in Japanese. Now that might just mean, hey, that just adds to the cryptic part of it. Or it's just saying, hey, you know, this sort of cryptic message is just for Japan. Whatever is announced in 19 days, October 13th, whatever's announced then could be just for Japan. Toyota's a global brand. And when we're talking about all of these brands here, maybe we're talking about making them more global. Obviously, you can't get more global than what Toyota is. Lexus is everywhere now, for the most part. Century has a long ways to go. This is way above Lexus in terms of prestige and cost. This is a Rolls-Royce. This is Bentley, sort of tier. This is elite, ultra rich. The 1% of the 1% typically buy a Century. And Gazoo Racing here, we know it's the sports cars, and I will have some sports car stuff coming from me to you, from my impressions over at Sonoma. Okay, did some off-roading with the new GR Corolla, the 26, and some track usage of it, the Yuzu GR86, as well as the final edition Mark V Supra. I drove all of them. I'll tell you where Toyota's kind of going with sports cars, but that's for a video for tomorrow or the next day. Daihatsu, this brand is typically K cars, very small vehicles. It's not like Daihatsu is going to go global anytime soon. What kind of messages do we have? Well, of course, I got translations for you guys. So let me pull these translations up. All right, let's start with the 24-day countdown. All right, again, October 13th is when, so 3 weeks ahead of time, 3 weeks or a little bit more, 3.5 weeks ahead of time of when we will start seeing this big project revealed. I will update the messages and write here every day. Okay, who's I? Akio Toyoda. Now, keep in mind, he is not writing these messages. His media team is writing these messages. And I checked on Toyota Times, Toyota's news website that's in-house. There's nothing there. I don't know. I got this teaser page from Car Scoops. So I didn't stumble upon this myself. So I don't... It's out there now. Akio Toyoda and Toyota, the company, Motor Corp, they haven't told their dealers any details of the project. That means if the dealers could leak, that they can't. Dealers leak things all the time. The Tundra was leaked. The GRMN Corolla lately was leaked. This is saying one of two things. It's either saying, hey, we don't trust our dealers. This is too big of news to even trust with our dealers. We would rather have the big surprise revealed on the 13th, which again, the 13th is 2 weeks prior to the Japan Mobility Show, which again, I will be going this year. Not only showing you Toyota, I'll show you Mazda. I'm talking with Honda. I'm talking with Nissan about things I can do with some of the cars over there from other companies, not just Toyota. All right. So I will have full coverage from other manufacturers. All right. And that might include Subaru, Mitsubishi, but those are probably just going to be reserved for the mobility show. If dealers can't be trusted with it, does it mean it's not a big deal at all? That's a possibility. I mean, it could be that it doesn't matter. So that's why the dealers don't know about it. It's insignificant. So it's one or the other. It's so big that you can't trust dealers to not leak it, or it's so insignificant that it's not worth telling the dealers at all. Then they say, here's all of our emblems for the cars. We already went over that. And then the editor of this page was in trouble because the emblems were out of order. The emblems had the Century on the far left. Okay, so now the Century is centrally located among these brands. Now, there could be a few different reasons. Why was it all the way on the left to begin with? I don't know. Why is it centrally located? Why was it such a big deal that Akio Toyoda complained that Century was on the outside? Maybe Century is going to have a much bigger role going forward, and Century is the pinnacle of what the Toyota Motor Corp is capable of at the highest end. All right. If money's no object, Century is in the center. Now, maybe like I said, the Century brand is at the center point of this project. It's possible. Okay. But Akio was really intent that the Century Phoenix, again, watch my walk around 2 years ago of the Century SUV at the Japan Mobility Show with David. It's an amazing vehicle. I really want to drive it. But maybe the Century is taking a step forward in the global spotlight. It is already on sale in Middle East through Lexus dealers. And we do have Century trademarks here in the US. It's a big deal. Why would they trademark Century? Is it just to protect themselves, or do they plan on bringing it to America? Time will tell. This is the newest one. This is today. Woven City is launching September 25th. Here's Woven City's landing page. It is an experimental city that's completely carbon neutral, running on hydrogen. The vehicles are electric or hydrogen based, and they're introducing these technologies and also inviting scientists around the world to live in this artificial city. I can't imagine how expensive this project is for Toyota. Billions of dollars would be my guess at the foothills of Mount Fuji. I would love to tour Woven City. And here are all the companies involved. Now, Woven themselves, Woven by Toyota, used to be Woven Industries. Now it's fully owned by Toyota. Woven is not doing well. Woven was supposed to bring in software to find vehicles to rival Tesla, to rival startups, okay? Probably to rival also Chinese, but it's nowhere close. And in fact, a lot of my sources that are very close to the matter or used to be close to the matter are no longer close to the matter because Toyota management with Woven, well, this is my theory. They're like, well, EVs aren't taking off like we thought they would. So unless you have a game-changing thing right here, right now, we're just going to get rid of you. In fact, they've got rid of really, really brilliant people with Woven. Okay. And it all started with James Kuffner, if you remember. He started Woven. And then when he ducked out a couple of years ago, I think the signs were on the wall, or there were signs that Woven didn't have longevity. Okay. I'm not talking about Woven City, but the software-defined vehicle aspect of Woven. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Yes, we have Arene software, but the Arene software that is going to debut in the new RAV4 is a stone's throw of where Woven wanted it, or should I say, where a lot of the brilliant minds that worked in Woven wanted it. Now most of them are gone. It's not looking good for software-defined vehicles in Toyota in the near future. They're making so much money doing it the old school way. There is so much blowback doing it the new school way, but you have to keep progressing forward to reduce costs and to make your cars better. All right. And Woven is falling short of that and probably will for some time to come, if not totally canceled. Who knows? Who knows? But Woven City isn't going anywhere. Let's get back to here. All right. Woven City launching, Century located in the middle. We have this new project coming October 13th. What is my take here? Here's my take. Akio Toyoda is a master race car driver. We wouldn't have the Supra. We wouldn't have the GR Corolla. We wouldn't have the GR Yaris. We wouldn't have the GR86. We would not have Gazoo Racing whatsoever if it wasn't for Akio Toyoda. Here's my theory. Maybe this is a project in which GR is infiltrating and assimilating more so into the main brands of Toyota than we've ever seen before. There might be some GR Sports within Daihatsu, but they're probably going to expand upon that. It doesn't matter for our market. But GR is going to go harder with Toyota. And I'll talk more about this in my video tomorrow after I share my driving impressions with the new Gazoo Racing products around Sonoma. Here's a hot take. Gazoo Racing GR is going to come into Lexus and kick out the F branding. F is dead. There are no F models. We have F Sports, but it's kind of a joke, right? The IS 500's gone now. The F Sport Performance. There's one F Sport Performance left, and that's in the RX 500H F Sport Performance. Oh, technically the TX has it too. All right. But if you look at the Marizo RRLBX, which we don't get in America, it's a damn shame. That hot hatch, it should have F branding. If it had F branding, that means F goes forward, but it doesn't have F branding. It has Marizo RR. And so Gazoo Racing or Marizo RR or both could absolutely eradicate any F branding we have within the Lexus lineup. Now it'll take time. The refreshed IS it's F Sport only now. In the future, and it could just take a model year or two, they could say it's Gazoo Racing only. It's GR Lexus. It's sportier. I'm fine with it. It can be done well. And it makes sense to me to have GR being the performance division within Toyota, within Lexus, within the Century even, and Daihatsu. This is my guess. Do you agree? Disagree? Is that what this project is about? This project to bring in Gazoo Racing to all of the Toyota main automobile brands. I notice Hino's not up here. They spun off Hino and formed a joint venture, I think, with Daimler Trucks. Century could be coming to the U.S., maybe sold at a Lexus dealer. GR coming to multiple projects in Toyota. Look, the new RAV4 plug-in hybrid has a GR Sport model, right? So GR will continue to push the envelope forward for performance within the Toyota, Lexus, and Century lineups. Hopefully, we get confirmation that Century is coming stateside. You know, that is a big deal. You have to keep in mind, Akio Toyoda is a fan of sports cars. He's also highly nostalgic. The Crown lineup would never have come back to America without Akio saying, hey, bring it back to America, even though it makes no sense. Crowns make no sense in America. Sorry, hit the microphone. When you have Lexus, all right, you have too much overlap. Century, though, is so far above Lexus that it could absolutely have a case here in the U.S. And he's a fan of the old. He's a fan of the Centuries. He's a fan of the Crowns. He's a fan of race cars. And that is not going to stop. As long as Akio Toyoda draws breath, and as long as he's chairman especially, he will continue to push for Toyota to not be boring, for Toyota to be an engaging and fun car company, whether it's Lexus, Century, or Toyota, or of course the Gazoo Racing. That's just fun in a nutshell there. Don't get your hopes up. First of all, don't get your hopes up. This could just be a nothing burger, and it could just be for Japan. But regardless, some fruits of this project will be available for me to cover at the Japan Mobility Show in a month from now. So at the very least, make sure you're subscribed, because I will give you some additional coverage one way or another on this project. And if there's some big announcement or big teaser tip-off by Akio and his team on this landing page, I will give it to you. I will update you here on the channel. So stay locked in. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Just don't be disappointed when they reveal something on the 13th of October that it just didn't live up to your expectations.